the reciprocal levies will rectify non-tariff barriers that he says are unfair, such as domestic regulations and how countries collect taxes, including the EU's value-added tax. The EU says its VAT is a fair, non-discriminatory tax that applies equally to domestic and imported goods. Speaking to reporters Wednesday at the Oval Office, Trump said the reciprocal levies would be lower than expected. "We're going to make it all countries, and we're going to make it very lenient," Trump said. "I think people are going to be very surprised. It'll be, in many cases, less than the tariff that they've been charging us for decades." Trump's charge against the car sector has added more pain to an industry facing a difficult outlook in Europe. New car registrations in the region during February fell 3.1% from a year earlier to 963,540 units, the European Automobile Manufacturers Association said this week, as uncertainty about the economy prompted consumers to hold back on bigger purchases. Germany is by far the most exposed EU member state, from an automotive tariffs perspective. The U.S. imported $24.8 billion worth of new vehicles from the country last year, almost half the $52.3 billion total shipped in from the bloc. Porsche AG and Mercedes-Benz Group AG will be hit hardest by President Donald Trump's latest trade salvo, facing a potential €3.4 billion, $3.7 billion, blow from new U.S. tariffs on imported cars. Although Volkswagen Group and BMW Group are somewhat insulated because all three manufacture cars in the U.S., the companies ship hundreds of thousands of high-value vehicles into the country every year. Several European brands, including Ferrari, are entirely reliant on imports. Other automakers affected by higher tariffs on cars imported from the EU include Stellantis, the maker of Jeep, Alfa Romeo and Fiat, Tata Motors Limited, Jaguar Land Rover, and Volvo Car. Title: Jose Munoz says Hyundai to stay flexible as Trump announces 25% tariffs on imported vehicles. Content: Hyundai Motor Group will remain flexible as it hustles to increase production capacity and strengthen its supply chain in the U.S. amid a changing trade landscape that soon includes a 25% tariff hike on imported autos. President Donald Trump signed an executive order March 26 implementing the 25% tariff on vehicles built outside the U.S. starting April 3. "We've been flexible before, we will be flexible now," Hyundai Motor Company CEO Jose Munoz told reporters at a briefing about an hour before the tariffs were announced. Munoz, who was in Georgia celebrating the opening of Hyundai Motor Group's massive electric vehicle and battery factory in Bryan County, just outside of Savannah, said the South Korean carmaker would accommodate tariffs just like everybody else. "The good thing for us is that we started this journey before, so we didn't know about tariffs or anything," he said. "But we knew the U.S. is the most important market for us globally, and that we need to be localized." Hyundai Motor Group, parent of the Hyundai, Kia and Genesis brands, refers to the nearly 3,000-acre factory as its metaplant. 6 EV models between the three brands are slated to come from the factory, which has capacity for up to 500,000 vehicles a year. Hyundai moved production of its popular Ioniq 5 compact crossover from South Korea to the metaplant in October. Its forthcoming 3-row Ioniq 9 just started rolling off the line. Next up is an EV from Kia in 2026, likely the EV3 compact crossover, that will target mainstream buyers and is expected to have a $35,000 price tag. 1/3 of the new plant's capacity will also go toward building hybrids, Munoz said. It was originally planned to be an EV-exclusive facility, but Hyundai decided last year to add hybrid production when EV sales weren't growing as fast as Hyundai anticipated. Despite speaking before Trump's announcement and not knowing exactly what levies might be imposed, Munoz said there is no better time to open the metaplant. "Definitely all the cars that we produce here are going to be exempted from any tariff," he said. The timing of the metaplant's opening ceremony and the president's auto tariffs followed Hyundai Motor Group's March 24 announcement that it is investing $21 billion in the U.S. to construct a steel mill in Louisiana, increasing annual production from 1 million to 1.2 million vehicles and developing other technology and infrastructure projects. Trump, who made the announcement alongside Hyundai Motor Group executive chairman Yuuzhan Chung at a White House press conference, indicated such investments would protect Hyundai from at least some tariffs. Hyundai will be producing steel in America and making its cars in America, and as a result,